have suggestions you would like to offer in answer to that question? Anybody worked it out? In that case, we will invite you to continue to mull that one over and ponder it in your heart. We have a number of questions that talk about getting started. How do you break the paralysis? This is a congregation that draws from 4 or 5 surrounding townships and very few from the closest. They talk about being a regional church. How do you become diverse if you don't have many people living in the neighborhood where your church building exists? This one asks, how do you deal with those strong people, those influential personalities that don't want to change? Sort of like choir directors, worship leaders. Of course, that's never happened in any of your churches, but how do you begin that process? So the basic question for those is, how do you begin the process of helping the church become more diverse?
I think.
How do you get it started?
Okay. Education. We first got to understand what we're trying to mold together. So seminars like this is a good thing, especially amongst church leaders like yourselves. That's a good way to start. As for the one with that talked about people that don't want to change, I guess you guys know what I'm going to say already, but not to say forget them and who cares about them, because some of these people have are in positions of power. But just like my brother over here said, I forgot your name, I'm so sorry, the board member. Gordon, yeah, just like Gordon said, it starts with the leader. The leader, it has to come from the top. If it doesn't come from the top, it's almost fighting like a losing battle. You need the minister or whoever's in charge of the church to be committed to diversity and set up programs that will start with just education. Let's understand our area. Like if the church resides in a neighborhood that's a certain way, it's A, right? You need to now get people from the community, get out there, start to have questions with people. I don't want to talk too long, but one thing that we have done with this St. Mary's Manhattanville I work with in the city, we have walked around in the community with this very same notebook and just said, do you want prayer? Do you have any prayer requests? Anything. Just in the community. Not asking them to come out to this, or just, do you have prayer? Do you have any prayer requests? Okay, all right, well, I want a car, like anything. Anything you want to pray about, we're going to go back and pray for it with you guys. When they're done, come out to our service. We want to have a meeting, a town meeting, or we want to have a hip-hop person, or whatever it is. We want to understand what it is you need. That's the first thing to do. The next thing to do now is start to how you can implement programs that will impact your community in your area. But that's not going to ever happen unless you have committed people from the top. You understand? How you do that, I'm not exactly sure.
I was going to say that a lot of people have to step back and reevaluate what they're in this for.
Yeah.
Why are they part of the church? Is this something like a choice they made on their own? Did they step back and read the scriptures and understand the principles of God and become involved? Or was it something that was inherited, which happens to a lot of us? You know, when you look at the church when it started, I mean, like at the time of Jesus, it was a movement. It wasn't something that was supposed to be like an organization that's sitting down, standing still, something to do every week. It didn't. That was not what it's supposed to be. It was a movement to prepare us to get out of here, pretty much. That's what the church is about. Over time we became pretty much an organization that sits down. And now we're wondering how we're supposed to bring people in when it's really supposed to be us going outwards. So we got to step back and yeah, that's what, we got to look back and see why, just reevaluate our foundations. It's not that, maybe, it's not that you lost your faith. Maybe, methods are off. So we just got to think about what we're doing and go back to the foundations and look at what they did and see how we could adapt it to what we're doing right now. So that's my views on that.
You're happy?
I'm happy.
That's just my view. No.
Looks like